Today we're going to do a couple of questions in 3.4, number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to start by writing the title, Lesson 3.4, Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. Okay, so page 133 to 134, numbers 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start with 1A. It says, for each graph, determine the slope and y-intercept, then write the equation of the line. Okay, so using guess, what's been given? They gave us a graph. Given graph. Okay, U is your unknown. What are they asking us to find? Determine. Okay, so determine or find the slope. Okay, that's one thing. And y-intercept. Okay, so what is that? Now we know that the slope is the same as m. Okay, so that's what we're trying to find. And we know that y-intercept is the same as b. Okay? We also know that they're asking us to write the equation of the line. So, and the third thing is write the equation of the line. Okay? So we know that E, the equation, okay, the equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. Okay? So in our solution, we're going to write, okay, we're going to use y equals mx plus b, and we're going to pay attention to what the slope is. Now the slope we know is rise over run, and b we know is the y-intercept on the y-axis. So we're going to put over here, we're going to put subbing in the slope. Now we know that slope is the same as m, but we also know that slope is rise over run. Okay, so we want to know what m is. All right, so the two dark points are guides to tell us that these are the points we're using. So we want to make a 90-degree triangle, put our fingers on both points. The left hand is where we start because we always go from left to right like we read. So I want to go directly below my right finger going to the right because I'm moving to the right like I read. So I'm counting the spaces with my pencil. I will 1, 2. That's directly below my right finger. Okay, so I have run 1, 2. Starting at this point, I've run 1, 2 to get right under the second point where my right hand is. Okay, so that's my run of 2. And then I've risen, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've gone in a 90-degree triangle called a right triangle. 1, 2 is my run. And then if I rise, I count up the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have risen 4, and I've run 2. Now if I divide 4 divided by 2, that's 2. 4 divided by 2 groups. So that means my slope is 2, therefore my m, which I know is slope, is 2. Now if I want to know what b is, I want to know what the y-intercept is. Okay, so I know that b is the y-intercept. So if I want to know what the y-intercept is, I have to look at where the y-axis, it's labeled there, is being crossed by the line. So where does the line cross the y-axis? Right there. That's the value of 1, right? So where the y-axis and the line, they meet and cross, that's at the value of y equals 1. We know that it's halfway between 0 and 2, which would be 1. So the y-intercept is 1, that's the same as the b value. So b is the y-intercept, and it's equal to 1. Okay, so the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. Okay, so b is 1. Well, we're going to sub those values of m equals 2 and b equals 1 into this equation here. So we're still using y equals mx plus b. Okay, so m is 2, replaces the m, okay, is 2. So y gets rewritten. M is 2, x gets rewritten, and then plus the b value goes in the place, or is being replaced by 1. So plus 1. So that's my equation of the line. That's what we needed. So then the s is the sentence. So therefore, slope is 2, y-intercept is 1, and the equation, the short form of the line, is y equals 2x plus 1. We could put a circle around that if we wanted to. Okay? I want you to do question B, C, and D. Rewind the video if you need help with A. Okay, let's go over to number 2. All right, number 2 says, given each slope and y-intercept, write the equation of the line and then graph the line. Okay. Okay, so number 2, A, G is given. What did they give us? They gave us the slope. Those dots should be really equal, okay? And the y-intercept, these dots here, they should really be equal, -1. Okay, I don't know why they put the dots there. Okay, so we know that slope is the same as m, okay? And we know the y-intercept is the same as b, okay? So we know a bunch of things already. It says write the equation. So that verb is the u, the unknown. So it says write the equation of the line. It also says then graph, that's the other verb, graph the line. Okay, so then E, the equation, okay, for graphing or for the equation itself, the equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. The solution is to use y equals mx plus b and use what we were given. So we were given what we're subbing in. So we were told that the slope is 1, which is m equals 1. We were told the y-intercept is -1. That means that b is -1. Okay, so we're going to put m is 1 here, and b is -1 right there. So y equals m is now 1x, and b is now -1. Okay, so that's our equation of the line. Now it also says to graph. Okay, so we better do this over here. Let's see. All right, so give myself a little bit of room. Okay, so y is upright, x is left and right. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. That's 0, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 0, that's -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, so this is 2a. So they already told us here, we already wrote it down, we already were told that slope was 1 and the y-intercept was -1. I think I'm going to put it over here. That way I'm going to have more room. Okay, so the slope is 1 and the y-intercept is -1. Okay, so we know that we want to do this first. Okay, a y-intercept is where is the value, is the y value where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so that is where we start. Okay, to start. Okay, so if I go over and I look for -1, okay, -1 on the y-axis, -1 is right here. I'm going to make a really big solid dot. Okay, so the second thing we do is go over here and we use the slope. Now, we know that slope is equal to a number over itself. Like it's turned into two numbers, right? Because it's supposed to be rise over run. Okay? So if I say that the slope is 1 and I say it's rise over run, we would ask this question in class, what number is going under the 1? Well, the only number that can go under this 1 is a 1. This number, when not visible, is always a 1. Okay? So it's always 1 if there's no bottom number. All right? So if I start at -1 and I know that the 1 is the rise and the run is the 1, I can rise 1 unit and then I can run 1 unit. So that makes that 90-degree triangle. See? And then up 1, rise 1, and run 1. And I'm always running to the right. And I can keep going up 1, run 1. And then I don't need to do more than 3 points. I mean, I did 4, but I don't really need to. So that's y equals 1x minus 1. And I've done that question. So then you're going to do B, C, and D. Okay, number 3. Number 3 says, for each linear relation, find the value of y when x is 0. Number 3. Okay, 3a. Okay, so what did they give us? They gave us a table of values. Table of values. If you want, you can call it the TOV, right? T-O-V, or TOV for short. Okay? The U, the unknown, is, it says find, that's the verb, so that's what's unknown. Find the value of y when x is equal to 0. Find the value of y when x equals 0. Okay, so what is the value of y when x equals 0? Okay, so GUE, equation. What kind of equation am I going to use? Well, every table has a pattern, okay? So use the pattern in the table of values, or TOV. Okay, TOV. Right? All right, so what does that mean? Well, the solution, let's draw the table. So we've got an x, we've got a y. We go up by ones there, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got 1, 2, 3 blank, and then the fourth one. So 1, 2, 3 blank. The fourth one is a 2, and the fifth one, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that one is the 3. Okay, so if I want to know what the pattern is, okay, it's whatever pattern I can see with what's remaining. Okay, so I can see that this is going up by ones. Okay, so this is going up by ones. But that's not the problem. It's these values here that I want to know. Okay, so if I go backwards and I go, what is 3 minus 2? Okay, so 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. That means that between those two numbers, I've got a 1 there, okay? So it means that in order to go from this way to this way, I had to add I had to add 1. But to go from this way to this way, I had to subtract 1. Well, I want to go backwards, okay? Because that will lead me this direction, right? This is going backwards. So I have to use subtraction to find out what the difference is, okay? So 3 minus 1, that's my pattern now, okay? 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1 would be 1. And then 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1 would be 0. Hopefully you can see that we're going backwards. And 0 minus 1, 0 minus 1 would be minus 1. And if I don't know that, I can type that. 0 minus 1 equals, and then the calculator would say minus 1. Now it says, find the value of y when x is equal to 0. Well, here, x is equal to 0. So that there is the y value that I'm looking for. Okay, so in my sentence, okay, right here, when x is equal to 0, okay, y in the y column is equal to -1. Y is equal to -1. And then I'm done. So I want you to try question B, C, and D with the help of the video in 3A. Good luck. Talk soon.